I would like to explain about the conditionals and subjunctives. For the first material here is about the definition of conditionals, which is used to speculate about what could happen, what might have happened, and what we wish would happen. So here we use conditionals to express a certain condition and the result of that condition. Then, depending on the type of conditional we choose to use, we can express a great many things, be it about the future or the past. So, for the conditional, we have an if clause, which is used to describe the condition, and we have the main clause, which states what will happen if the condition is met. And next, there are 4 types of conditionals, which are the first one is zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and the last one is third conditional. For the first here is zero conditional. For its if clause is used present simple, and for the main clause is used present simple or imperative. So here is the example of zero conditional, which is for the if clause. If you don't water flowers. And for the main clause is they die. For the next is first conditional, which are the if clause is used present simple, and for its main clause is used future simple. So here is the example of its if clause, which is if the weather is nice, and for the main clause, we will go for a walk. So here, the first conditional refers to the present and future. It expresses a possible condition and its probable result in the future. And next, for the second conditional is for the if clause is used past and simple, and for its main clause is used present conditional with plus infinitive. So here is the example. For the second conditional is for the if clause, if I had a lot of money. So here, had is a word that expresses the past tense simple. And for the main clause, I would buy a big house. So here, would buy refers to present conditional would plus infinitive buy. So here, there is a case that Susan wants to phone Paul, but she can't do this because she doesn't know his number. So here, that would be a second conditional, which is for the if clause. If I knew his number, and for the main clause is I would phone him. And then the difference between the first and second conditional. So here, but conditionals refer to the present and future. The difference is about probability, not the time. First conditional, real and possible situation, but the second conditional, unlikely to happen. So here is the example of it, which is the first one. If John runs fast, he will win the race. So it refers to the first conditional, which is this is still possible to happen. And then for the second conditional, if John ran fast, he would win the race. This is unlikely to happen because John doesn't run fast. For the next, we have the third conditional, which is for the if clause is used past perfect simples, and for the main clause is used past conditional with plus have plus past participle. So here is the example of the third conditional, which is for the if clause. If I had known his number, so you can see from its verb, which is noun, it refers to past perfect simple. And next, for the main clause, I would have phoned him. So here you also can see from its verb, which is past participle, use phone. And then for the third conditional refers to the past and it is not based on facts. It expresses the situation which is contrary to reality in the past. So here we have a situation that Jack wants to buy a house last year, but he couldn't do that because he didn't have any money. So to express it to the third conditional, it would be, for the if clause is, if I had a lot of money. And for the main clause, I would have bought a big house. And for the next, there is the difference between second conditional and third conditional. The difference is about the time. The second conditional is reversed to the present and future, but the third conditional is reversed to the past situation. So here you could see the example here. The second conditional is, if I saw a car accident, I would call an ambulance. But I don't see an accident now. This is unlikely to happen. So it is the second conditional. And for the third conditional, if I had seen a car accident, I would have called an ambulance. Here the situation is, I didn't see an accident yesterday. This is contrary to the fact in the past. Alright, that's all the material about conditional. For the next, we will continue to the subjunctive. For the first material is about the definition of the subjunctive, which is a verb form that is used quite rarely in very formal language, which is it expresses something desired or imagined. We use it about events that somebody, for the first one, wants to happen, and next anticipates will happen, and then imagines happening. And then there are two ways in using subjunctives, which is request and if were pattern subjunctive form, which is the example is, if I were a teacher, I would be kind. And then we insisted that he sit still. And she requested that she run the race again. For the first ways in using subjunctives is for requests, there are 5 examples. For the first one, we ask that students walk in school. I demand that he answer my question. We request that doorways be kept clear. The head insists that everyone write in pen, and the last one, I suggest that he listen carefully to me. And then here, the verb in simple form is walk, answer, and be. And then the request verbs are ask, command, demand, insist, request, and suggest. And then the word that joins the parts of the sentence. Next, it's about the verbs simple form. Verbs usually change according to who is doing them or a person, which is for the example walk, you walk, and then for see, he, eat, it could be walk plus as, and then they walk. And it's according when they happen or tenses, which for the present is used walk, and for the past is could be I walk plus ed. Most verbs do not change very much, but irregular verbs do. For the present, verb to be I am, you are, she, he, it, is, and they are. For the to be in past, I was, you were, she, he, it was, and then they were. The simple form of a verb is the infinitive without the words to. So it could be just walk, answer, and be. In the subjunctive sentences, verbs appear in simple form. The ending does not change according to person. And the next are the second ways in using subjunctives, which is if blah 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 were. And for the examples of the sentence are, the first one, I would go if I were younger. If he were not so mean, he would buy one. And then I wish the computer were working. And then suppose she were here, what would you say? And the last one, she acts as if she were the queen. So here, you could see that always were, whoever it is about, instead of was. So here, whoever the subject, it would be always use were, and then it used if, as if, with, and suppose. And last, the sentences are about something desired or imagined. Alright, that's all about my explanation today. Thank you so much for your attention. And if you want to answer the quiz, please check the link below, or you also check on my description box. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.